Welcome to the first series, Makhado Wood and Timber Training. In this first series, we are going to train how to load stock. This training is designed for migrating from the old accounting system into the Sage system. Without wasting time, you will go to your Sage system. We will then log into the Sage system with your login details. Once logged in, you will arrive to this screen. At this stage, we would like to also flight in our items that we would like to load so that we may have a look at the structure of the information. First, Rena department, then item name. This is the name that will help you search the item. Even this one will help you search the item. It's according to the groupings. Then you have the quantity on hand, which is the stock as at today. As at yesterday, then the most important items are the cost of the item and our active price. These are the only two things that we need to be concerned about when loading a new item. So you go to the menu, you will say add item. If you want to see items that are existing, you would go to list items. I will click list items just to show you what is there. Here we already see I captured the first one, melanin, the cost price, and this is our selling price, and on the document this price would be the active price. So the active price is the same as the price excluding and price including. Because we are not a VAT vendor, we don't have VAT yet, the price would be both excluding and including would be one price, which is the active price. That's the price that we are concerned about. We will then move to capture our record. If you are in the list, so we went from here to say lists, items, list of items. That's what brought us to this screen. But if you are just adding a new record, you would go there and you would say add item. We are adding a new item now. I would like to just have a look at the information. So we'll add the second item here. On the code, we will have melamine as the code. So melamine is the code. Melamine PG done blade. Melamine PG done blade, which is the second item. Then we look at opening quantity. Opening quantity would be our on-hand quantity, which is 3. And then we would look at our cost for this item. It's 699. So opening costs would be 699. And then we then go to our active price, which would here on exclusive selling price, which would be 899. And here the most important thing is, if you are not a VAT vendor, on the 899 price, we have to come here and say no VAT, and say no VAT. So it's no VAT on both. And then you would click on category. If you need to group different items from different businesses, we will use category. So for this one is for wood and timber. The one for hardware will include it under hardware. The one for solar will include them under solar. So these are our categories. We click wood for wood and timber. Then we are ready to save our record. This would be representing record number 2, which is the one that we have there. You will see that the information we have here on the margin is 22.25, which matches our system's margin on 22.25. Then we know that we've captured it well, because we've done the exclusive price, which is the same as inclusive price, because we've said we do not have VAT. Now we are ready to save the record. The code must be unique. Oh, this is at the code level, meaning we need to, the code must not be the same. So we can say melanin 1, then we will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as we move along, in order for us to have a unique item. Now we can save our record. There we have it, melanin, melanin 1. Let's go to the item groupings. If we go to the item groupings, item bundles, list of item bundles, then we say add an item bundle. So under all those items of melanin, we would have to put them, as melanin item bundle. It's melanin, so all of them fall under melanin. Quantity, bundles, list of items. So we have there melanin 1. Let's now go to adding the third item, melamin 2. We'll say melamin 2 for the next item on our list, which would be item number 3, which would be this melamin PG Norwich Berg. Let me just move just so that I can type quicker. Melamin PG Norwich BIR. Some of the letters are are cut, so we can't see what the actual description is. You will have to edit the items. I'll show you where to edit the items because we don't see all of them properly. It's still under wood because it's under Makhado wood and timber, the wood and timber section. The opening cost for this item is 205. The quantity on hand for this one is 0. We do not have anything. And the selling price is 899. And then we do not have VAT. We do not have VAT. So the margin says 77.20, and on that list it's 77.20. Then we know that it's balancing, and then we go ahead and it will tell you if you are adding a new item, stock item that does not have an opening quantity, meaning we don't have stock on hand. It will give you this warning. Would you like to continue? We just click yes. So now we are down to 3 products that we've listed. As we go to the other melanins, we'll say melanin 4, melanin 5 until we finish the melanin section. And then we will come and also capture the system related sections. I will do an example of the system related section, which is delivery charge. I will then say in code, we'll say system, and then we'll say system 1 for the next one, cutting charge, system 2. So I'll do the system related ones now. Delivery charge, under category. So under category delivery charge, it's not the same as Makhado wood and timber products that we sell, stock items. It's sort of a service, a delivery is a service. We will then map it under a category, a new category that says transport. So we'll put it under transport, delivery charge. And we will say it's a service. We'll look at the cost. The active price. So here the margins are 100%. So we are saying we do not have a cost for this delivery, but we should have a cost for it, but we don't have a cost for it. It's fine. We are saying now the delivery is 1,400. 1,400. Edit this one because it's 1,400 and we do not have VAT. We do not have VAT, and you'll see it will say the margin is 100%, which is the same as the one from the spreadsheet. Let me just pull the spreadsheet for you again so that you see the spreadsheet. We are on delivery charge. That delivery charge, the margin is 100% because we are charging 1,400 for the delivery charge and we do not have VAT. That's why always remember, we do not have VAT, we go to the no VAT. Then we close it. Then so far we have these line items that are captured so far. Now, if we are going to go to the next step, which is a customer, we will add a new customer. Add a new customer. I would say Rendani Ramapulana is our customer. What category is Rendani Ramapulana in? We can categorize our customers. Customer category could be a government, private, we could say frequent. You know, when we say frequent, we mean this is the customer that usually buys more than, we can determine if they buy more than 5 times in a month, they are a frequent customer. So when you capture them, you will know whether to select frequent or new customer or so. So on customer, we would say new. I will start with new customer and returning customer. Returning customer would mean they are coming more than once, but frequent is when they've purchased more than 5 times in a month or so. So let's start with new. I'm a new customer, and the most important things here, if we have a credit limit for a customer, which we can introduce later, we'll put a credit limit and we'll see how that works, but for now it's cash on delivery. The most important items, you'll see if you just try to save, it will tell you what it needs. It will say the customer set up to receive statements via email. Please add a valid email address. If you would like to change this, customer receives statement, please receive an appropriate statement distribution. So if we don't want our customers to receive statements via email or receive quotation via email, we come to the default settings and we say none. There is no statement distribution. So a customer is Rendani Ramabrana, then we will print their details. We can then save the item here, Rendani Ramabrana. That's our customer. But we always want to capture information like email address or cell number. Cell number is the most important thing to capture when capturing a new customer. Now, when we want to do a quotation for a customer, we would go to customers links, go to transactions, and say customer quotes, and you would say add a quote. Then it shows you this new screen of a quotation. You then select on customers. You would see a list. You would scroll through your list of the customers, select the customer that you want. After you've selected the customer, you go on your items that you are going to sell. We can choose maybe 2 items and a delivery. We would choose, let's choose the first 2. So we choose number 1. You can click enter after you've chosen it. Also go and choose, if we have a list of a lot of items, you can click that button that says search for item. It brings up this big box, and then we would say PG. Let's search everything with PG. It narrows down. You see, this is PG, this is PG, this is PG. You already see how to search. It searches everything. Now we would say we want that item, request selector, enter. Then we will go to a delivery charge, enter. Now we are ready. We've done our quotation with the 3 line items that we need. Then we can go to print preview, which is what we will do all the time, and we won't go to email. So we will say print preview. This is the time that we are now printing the quotation to the customer Rendani. And then when we are on the computer that is set up with the printer, we will say print report. Okay. For my sake, I've not connected the printer directly, so redo download a document. Once you've downloaded, redo ivura, and then we'll print it. I'll show you. We'll print it manually. Here's our quotation. This is the quotation that we just did for our customer now. Then redo to a printer. We print it. I will just show us on the printer once the document is printed. Once we are done with the quotation, you can go back to the home dashboard, or you could go back to do another quotation. By clicking quotations, you will see already a quotation that is already there, and the status of the quotation is pending. Then once the order has been made, we've done the work, we then, for that same quotation, the customer has made payment, we have delivered, we would then come to the quotation and say create either a sales order or an invoice. You could go to create a sales order. Let's actually go back and we say create invoice. We can then say create invoice. Creating an invoice from this code will cause the quantity on hand to fall below 0 for one or more items. You are not allowed to process the process below quantity on hand. So hey is because we chose an item that does not have stock, so we are not allowed to sell something that does not have stock, and it's refusing. So how we fix it, we'll go back to our order, because we remember the things that do not have stock was the first one. Only this one had stock, so we would delete the first item, and then we go print preview again. We do the same thing that we did to print, and now we need to go back to it. It has now changed. We now need to create an invoice. If the customer has already made a payment, or they want to make a payment, they've accepted our order, we are now making an invoice. You are creating a text invoice for this code. The code status will be changed to invoice. So once we've processed customer invoice, we could go to print preview. Now that's the invoice that will be showing to the customer, which now allows them to pay, to make payment. We will save it. Once we have done with the delivery of the work, it's when we then come again to code. The same quotation is now status is invoiced. Now we know we've delivered the work. So we would get in the quotation. We would go to quotation and click accepted. So the quotation is accepted by the customer, and wait a payment. once that is done, we would come to the same quotation. We would go to the transactions and create a customer receipts. Customer receipt. So a customer receipt is once a customer has made a payment for the delivery, then we process a customer receipt. You would then click on the actual invoice, process customer receipt. Oh, okay. Saying the banking details are required. I would do the banking details. Banking details, the Makhado Wood and Timber. So the person made a payment into Makhado Wood and Timber. We select the Makhado Wood and Timber. Then we say process customer receipt. That's the invoice there. I'm just printing all of them. And then we'd have the customer receipt. That's after they've given us the payment. That tells us that you made the payment came via EFT or it came via cash or whichever method. Then give them the customer receipt. At this point, we are done. So if we go back to our quotations, we would see that our quotation is at an accepted state, and that state is then finalized. So that's how we do a transaction of this nature. So you have 3 steps. We load our stocks in items. We deal mainly with our customer menu. So we add a new customer. If it's a new customer, if it's an existing customer, we just come to transactions. And then we click quotations, and then we process the code, and then until we finish. Thank you very much. This marks our conclusion on the training as a start. We will have a look at the printed documents. The most important documents that we deal with starts here. So we saw this one is a quotation. We started with a quotation when a customer enters, and then we would come with an invoice. Once a customer has accepted the quotation, we would give them an invoice. Once we are done with that and delivery has happened, we would give the customer a receipt. So once they've paid, we would give them a receipt, and we would make the actual delivery, and then we are done with our side. Thank you very much.